Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Sikorsky to idle over 1,400 workers. The F-35B carrier base training continues. Tavares, Florida promotes seaplane businesses. I'm Bree Cross. It is June 5th, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. While the recent drop in oil prices has been welcomed by drivers and other users of petroleum products, it has also suppressed the market for oil production support equipment, such as helicopters used in offshore exploration for oil. That, along with a softer market for international military products, means that Sikorsky has sent layoff notices to some 1,400 workers, over 700 from its Coatesville, Pennsylvania facility alone. Company spokesman Paul Jackson said that the majority of those let go at Coatesville, where the VH-92 Marine One helicopters are built, are contractors. The jobs will be phased out over the next 12 months, he said. A Connecticut TV station reports that the company will be closing its Bridgeport, Connecticut location, where about 180 people are employed entirely. Those who don't lose their jobs at Bridgeport will be offered jobs at the company's Stratford operation. Marines and sailors have worked together since May 18th to conduct Operational Testing 1, they call it OT1, to assess the integration of the F-35B Lightning II at sea aboard USS Wasp. Throughout OT1, the aircraft and personnel involved have been challenged with a wide variety of flight and deck operations, allowing the gathering of data which will lay the groundwork for future F-35B deployments aboard U.S. Navy amphibious carriers. OT1 offered many first experiences for both personnel and the F-35B itself. One of these first was operational Marine Corps pilots landing the aircraft on a carrier at night. In addition to doing operational testing and seeing how the aircraft is compatible with the Marine Corps' warfighting components, the ability to logistically support aircraft aboard a U.S. Navy amphibious ship was also assessed. Not only is the F-35B a versatile and technologically advanced aircraft, it will also be replacing 3 legacy Marine Corps platforms, the AV-8B Harrier, the FA-18 Hornet, and the EA-6B Prowler. After the break, Tavares, Florida will deal to get your seaplane business.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, NavCom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, our website, or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. Tavares, Florida identifies itself as America's Seaplane City, and in an effort to bolster that image, the City Council is proposing to waive impact fees for new seaplane businesses that locate in the city. Impact fees are generally collected from a business or developer to help offset the cost of constructing new infrastructure associated with the business. The Orlando Sentinel reports that the impact fees for a seaplane business in Tavares can be as high as $40,000. However, the proposal would give the council wide latitude to, quote, from time to time, authorize the waiver, deferral, or reduction of city impact fees, end quote. About 2,000 seaplanes visit Tavares in an average year, and Progressive Aerodyne builds Sea Ray amphibious airplanes in the city. But city leaders are also actively recruiting other seaplane manufacturers, according to the report. Well, it's Friday, and that means that it's time for ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly Barnstorming commentary. Here at A&N, we have always been proud of our ability to innovate. And this week, Jim gives you an update on something really exciting that we call the AirVenture Innovation Preview. Here is this week's Barnstorming.
Thanks, Brianne. Hi, folks. Well, the countdown for Oshkosh is on. 40 some odd days to go, and around here, that's Panic City. Although for us, Oshkosh and panicking starts at about the 90-day mark. There's so much to do this year, and to a certain extent, we see this as a pivotal year as we work further and further into the Airborne Partnership Initiative, as we get ready to launch from the founding partners that we've worked with and start adding a couple of more dozen over the next few months, and a couple of more dozen over that, and sometime in the next year or so, about 100 of these organizations will be joining us. It'll be pretty remarkable, to say the least. But we've got an idea for Oshkosh. It'll be announced officially in a couple of days. We're working out some of the details now with EAA, who's given it a thumbs up, and we're excited about that. We call it the Airborne Innovation Preview. And very shortly before Oshkosh, we're going to categorize and collect 3 to 5 minute short announcements about the most innovative, the most newsworthy, the most exciting product announcements, plane announcements, program announcements that'll be coming to Oshkosh this year. And the name of the game here is to build buzz, build excitement, build anticipation, and more important than anything else, prove once and for all that aviation is an innovative activity, and that Oshkosh, as far as innovation is concerned, is pretty much the center of the Aeroverse. There's a lot more coming, but what I'd like you to do very simply is this. For those of you who will be going to Oshkosh as exhibitors, as vendors, who have things to announce and talk about, keep an eye out for the AIP preview. We've got some really exciting things going on here, but what we want to do is collect the most ingenious, most innovative, most exciting news pieces and work with you to make sure that Oshkosh and AirVenture becomes a focal point for the world when they start looking at, wow, what's new in aviation, and how do I get briefed real quick on what's really exciting for this year. It's an interesting idea. We're very excited about it. There's a lot more to come. We'll talk a little bit more next week, and there will be announcements on Airborne as we roll up to it. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne, and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell. And we've got some really interesting things coming up. Hope you'll join us.
After these messages, a great airshow boss has gone west.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX100, and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Air shows don't just happen by themselves, it takes somebody to make them work. We are sad to say that longtime air boss of Florida International Air Show has gone west. Our friend Bob Hall passed away last week. A preliminary statement from the Russian State Commission investigating the May 16th Proton failure with the Centenario satellite was issued by Roscosmos. The commission concluded that the anomaly was traced to a failure of the Stage 3 steering engine. Illinois gets $1.4 million in federal funding that will go towards infrastructure improvements and upgrades at the Quad City International Airport and Chicago Rockford International Airport. The grants were awarded through the FAA Airport Improvement Funds. Don't you hate it when your computer gets a mind of its own and then completely loses it? Well, United Airlines can sympathize because the FAA had a computer automation issue that grounded all United flights for about 30 minutes on Tuesday. Some people were stranded on planes for hours. 7 new scholarships will be available to women and men who are members of Women in Aviation International. These new scholarships will include aerobatic training, collegiate aviation studies, helicopter maintenance training, flight instructor training, aerospace technology, and online training. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's get back to the rest of the news. The NTSB has added a new twist to its accident reporting, and we at ANN think it's a great idea. They have released an 8-minute video that focuses on the key lessons that pilots can learn from the investigation of a UPS cargo plane crash in Birmingham, Alabama in August 2013. The video is the first ever such companion to an official NTSB report. The board plans to produce other videos in the future on major accidents. NTSB Chairman Christopher Hart said, quote, "People consume information and absorb lessons in different ways. This video is another way to reach pilots and aviation safety professionals with the lessons we learned through our investigative work." End quote. The video is aimed at commercial and other professional pilots, but many of the lessons of the accident apply to every pilot at any certification level. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday.